Welcome learners to Sarthak Education Channel. This is CDPatel Digital Room for Android sessions. Today we are going to learn about ID, type array, font and style resources. So keep in mind some basic rules of resources. Resources are organized in strict directory hierarchy. All resources must be stored under resource project directory and it must be in a lowercase. ID is used to identification of the control. Type array is used to define mixed type of value as a collections. Font is used to apply system or custom font family. And style resource used to looking for user interface. This is the time to access font resources. And font resources are very crucial part when we are going to use real applications for our single user or multi-user or in a real market. Basically, the fonts can be categorized as system font or custom font. We can add these properties for individual font files or we can use collection of font files and known as font family. All kinds of font resources stored at resource under the font folder with file name as .ttf or OTF or XML file. As we already told, the types of fonts are divided into two categories, and the first one is bundle font and second one is downloadable font. Bundle font, that is stored as resource in the applications, and you can access these fonts with the help of font resource type. Downloadable font, that is a resource that defined using custom font that you can use in your applications, and this font is not available in the application itself. Instead of, the font is retrieved from font provider. So how we can use these bundle resources or bundle type of font? So let us understand first its syntax and later on we will see about downloadable font resources. This is a mandatory steps when we want to access or when we want to type or when we want to write any bundle font. We first create a font folder under the resource directory, and then we can create a specific font file name with XML format or TTF format or OTF format. When we are going to create any bundle font type, the first or root tag, that is font family. Under the font family tag we have font tag. For the font tag we can define font attribute, font style and font weight as a different attributes, and it may look like with example. As you can see, font family defined with XML namespace, font family defined with XML namespace, a font tag defined with font style, font weight and font attribute, and we can access these bundle resources into different resources part. So let us create that font style format into our Android Studio. So keep in mind, we first create font folder under the resource folder. So now I am going to create a new Android resource directory where I am going to store font. So this is your resource type and it is taken directory name as font, and press OK button. So your font directory will be created. Font folder. Now I am going to right click on it, new, and then font resource file. Apply the name that you want to use in your resource file. So here I am going to use lobster underscore regular and press OK button. So it is available with the new name, and here the font family root tag is also there. So here I am going to use font, and we can use any kind of attribute for next purpose. Here I am going to use font style, and here we can pass normal or italic as a value. Right now I am going to use normal. As a second attribute we can use font weight, where we can use different value. At the last attribute we can use font, and here we can use same name file like above, and we are going to close. So it is a font should not be reference itself. So this is a issue regarding your resource cycle. So just click on it and add that annotations, so it will be ignored. Right now your font resource type is ready. So how we can access that XML file or that font resources into XML? For that, @ sign will be used to font and lobster, that is your name of files. So here I am going to open activity underscore main.xml, and here I am going to set text view, or you can use a text part, and there you can use font family and used @ and you can see here your lobster underscore regular font family is available. When you apply it and see in a design part, and it is look like this. Here some rendering problem will be there, but do not consider that part. Here just we are going to demonstrate how we can use different kinds of resources into your particular resources. Using same way we can create another font file like new, then font resources, and then we can create also like lobster underscore italic. Same way I am going to type font, and then we can use style as a italic, then weight as a something value, and font type as you can see at font and italic. So once again I am going to click here and apply that annotations for your reference. Now we can apply this into different parts. So here I am going to apply on button. So find the font family. So it is available under different area. So just find out that font family, or you can search using this way. We can use at coding style also, and then use that italic format and see the how it is applicable. So using this way we can apply different kinds of font resource file to our controls or existing controls or runtime controls. Now, this is the time where we can use a downloadable font resources for our custom type of font. And using this syntax, font family syntax, we can use provide the authority, then make a package and then a query, then provide certificate. So let us explain each attributes. The first attribute, that's name is font provider authority, and this is required to define font provider name. Second is font provider package, that is the name of package the font provider, and it is used to verify identifier of the provider. Third, font provider query attribute is used to query of the font, and it is for documentation purpose also. Font provider certificate properties used to define with hash sign in sign of this provider, and it is used to identify the certifications of that signature, and it is also used for documentations, and it is look like these examples. So for that we must create different values. So first we are going to create a font folder that we already defined in Android Studio. So we already created in previous part font folder. Now I am going to define first thing in resource under values folder, and that is name of XML file using new values resource file, and I am going to define that is the certifications of that font, and using this way we can define certifications using string array. So I am going to define name of that certifications is certs, and we are going to pass the item value. Here I am going to use random value like so this is my certifications value, and we are going to use that as a resources. Second part is we are going to create a folder or file like this way, and here I am going to pass lobster as an example. The last angular bracket and type the first things, that is authority, and provide the name like package of that area. Here I am going to use font provider dot authority font package. So com dot example, that is our package we already used as for simple example. Now we can use font query, and that is the name as for example lobster, and at the last part we can add font certificate provider, and using @ sign using array we can use certificate, and that certificate value provide from certificate.xml. So you can use that kinds of properties example like this. So it is used for, or you can replace this is available using this way. So you can use, click on it, and it is available as a by default package. So you can replace the provider also like this way, and here I am going to use another example from Google Android GMS fonts. Now, if I want to apply this font into XML file, we are going to apply these fonts, and in font family we can pass add, and we have font and lobster, and it is applicable using this way, font/lobster. So this is the way we can use custom font, and this is the steps to apply different fonts into different ways. And we already used how to access that downloadable XML font file into, or an example of controls using add font and the name of file. If I want to access that lobster resource file into programming format, we can use like this way, typeface, then object of that class, then we can use get resource. Let us see the output in Java file. So we can define typeface, and that is the name of object. Here I am going to use. Then tf equal, we can use get resource dot, we can pass or we can get font using get font method, then r dot font dot, we can use lobster as a file. So using this we can store our resources, so it may add some API versions, so add it to remove any kinds of warning error. Now if you want to apply that any text view, so we can apply using this way, like name of, like the name of this ID is button OK. So right now I am going to search the button or text view in Java file. So here I am going to use text view, that is TV. If it is unimported, then press Alt or Enter to import the file. Now TV equal find view by ID r.id dot button OK, and now TV dot set type face, and we can pass tf, and that will be applicable runtime font to your particular control. So using this way we can apply the different kinds of font as XML to XML file or XML to Java file. Now, this is the time to understand about style. Style is used to define the format and look of the user interface. Style can be applied to an individual view, an entire activity, or an applications. All kinds of style stored into resource values with specific file name with XML extension. The syntax of style tag are defined with name attribute. We can use parent attribute and we can define specific item properties. Name attribute is used to write the name of style. Parent attribute is used to derive or extend the inheritance of style, and we can use separate style with specific tag name and value. Let us create how to define style. So by default in Android project, style.xml file is available. So as you can see here, this is the name of that style. This is the parent attribute that you can derive from other ready-made style, and these are the different parameters that will be helped to define specific types of value. If I want to add the new examples like item name, or we can define another style using style tag, then we can define the name like custom text. If I want to use parent, then we can use at style, and we have a custom text itself, or we can use ready-made text if we have, or we can define with any kind of other style. Right now I am going to derive from itself or self. Now we can use different kinds of items using item tag with a name attribute, and here I am going to pass android.text size as a key name, and the size of that point is 20 sp. Here I am going to define another part, that is android.text color with specific color, that is has 008 in a hexadecimal format. So now if I don't want to extend any parent properties, we can skip it also. Now we have defined custom style, and using this tag we can define lots of style, but right now I am going to apply this custom style to my text view. So if I want to apply this style to text view, we can use style tag, and we have a ready-made style attribute, and using this at style custom tag, and that is directly applicable for that format. So you can see the output is directly viewable. On particular individual control, we can define style to particular activity, or we can use or define or apply that style into applications. So using this way we can use different kinds of style or different kinds of themes. Using style we can create and we can apply on using XML file to particular control. So thank you very much. Like, share and subscribe my channel and press the bell icon to get update on Android sessions. Thank you very much and enjoy the day.